Hi guys, I'm back again with another video. Now this time on the Fitbit Charge 2. Now this would be a real life review of the Fitbit Charge 2. According to whatever dress you're wearing, like if you're going to office and you're wearing a formal dress, you can wear maybe a leather strap on it or a black strap on it. If you're going to the gym or going for a walk or going for a run, jogging, you can wear those rubber straps, and with different colors. You get blue, orange, green, all these different colors from Fitbit, and third-party bands also are available now, so you can wear those. Now the bands that I have, the other bands that I have, for example the Mi Band 2, it has a heart rate monitor, but I have to press the button and see my heart rate at that time. This keeps a continuous track of my heart rate, and I can see my heart rate as soon as I do this. I can see the heart rate there. I don't have to press a button and wait for it. So it's useful in tracking my activity. If I'm jogging, if I'm walking, if I'm doing some exercise, the continuous heart tracker helps you in tracking your entire event from the start to the end. So it knows when did the heart rate go high, when did the heart rate, what was your high heart rate, what was your medium. It can show you the average and the low. So that's a good option if you want that. If you want a heart rate to see how much of a heart rate are you get, how much is your high heart rate when you're exercising or when you're running or jogging. So it's a good option. I don't know how much will you use it, but it's a good option. So basically what an altimeter sensor does is it detects how high have you gone. So for every 10 meters that you've gone high or elevated from the ground, it will count that as one floor. So in my altimeter test, I have shown you that even while I'm riding a bike, the altimeter does count floors in them. Now that was because I was crossing two bridges. So when I go up the bridge, it is counting that as floors. Even if I'm staying on the ground floor, I'll still have some floors on it. So now that you know that why does that data come wrong, now you know how to calculate it. Like if you are traveling, don't use it, because it will not give you a correct data. Or you can minus that many floors from them. Like if you're leaving from your house, you know this many floors are there. When you reach somewhere else, and then you can see the floors, and then you can minus that much, and then you can know the actual floors that you climbed. I don't know how useful is that for you, but still that's an information that the Fitbit Charge 2 gives you. So the silent alarm, how it works is you set an alarm on the phone in the Fitbit app. I have a video for that. You can see that how to put a silent alarm, and you can send that alarm to your band. So whatever alarm you are setting on your phone in the Fitbit app, it goes onto the band, it synchronizes onto the band. Then you don't need the phone at all. You can leave the phone home and then go wherever you feel like, and when the time comes, it will vibrate and it will wake you up. The good thing about that is there's no sound. So if you have your children next to you, or if there are people around you, you don't want your phone to ring and wake them up also. You want to wake up at maybe 6 o'clock in the morning, but rest of them need to wake up at 8 o'clock. Then with the silent alarm, it will vibrate, it will wake you up, not the rest of them. So it's a good option. Now the phone notification option is good. You get phone notification for whatever messengers you have, and SMS message. The only problem that I have with that is it only allows you to choose one. So if you have WhatsApp set, you will not get text, you will not get Facebook Messenger, you will not get Viber, you won't get any of the other ones. You will only get one. But good that the messaging option is there, the messenger option is there, and you will get notifications when you get a call. So when you get a call, the band will vibrate, it will show you the name, and then you take out your phone and pick up the call. Even if you have a Bluetooth headset, with the band you cannot answer the call. You will have to choose the button on the Bluetooth headset or pick the call from the phone. So that should have been an option that they should have added, but since there aren't many buttons and it's not a swipe activated screen, so maybe that's the reason why that option is not there. So one of my big problem with Fitbit bands are that you have to synchronize the band with the phone. Only then will you be able to see the data, and to synchronize it you need internet. So what if I'm in a place where there is no network connectivity, like my gym is in the basement and over there my internet does not work. I've done some exercise, I've done some running, I've done a lot of things, and I want to see the data. I cannot. Why? Because my internet is not working and I cannot synchronize the data. So with this, even if it's not synchronized, I have a screen where I can see the real-time stat. So I can see how much I walked, I can see my heart rate, I can see how many calories I burned, I can see all the information here. I can synchronize it with the phone later on, with the Fitbit app later on when I have internet, but the real-time stats are available. So that's a good thing which I don't have with my Fitbit Flex. So this is a good option. It has a route tracking option where I can start an exercise and I can go for a run, go for a walk, go for cycling, whatever it is, and it will track it using the phone's GPS. Now this does not have its own GPS. So in the Fitbit range, only the Fitbit Surge has the inbuilt GPS. Rest all of them don't have an inbuilt GPS. So maybe in future they might put it in some other bands, but right now only the Surge has inbuilt GPS. So it uses the GPS and it will track the entire route for you. And in that period, wherever you stop, so if I'm running after 500 meters, I stopped in a place, it will mark that location. Then I ran again and I stopped at some place, it will mark that location. So if I stopped at 10 places, it will mark those locations and it will show it to you on a map. So I really like the way it shows you your data, but for this option you have to start an exercise. It will not do it automatically. The automatic tracking does track what you are doing. It will track it as running, walking, whatever, but it does not use your GPS with it. So you won't get your GPS data into it. But if you want the GPS data, you have to start an exercise manually. It has something called a guided breathing. Now it's a good option. I tried it once or twice, but it wasn't for me because it's related to breathing in and breathing out, controlling your breath, calming yourself down when you're stressed. Maybe if you're hyperventilating and then you want to calm down, at that time you can switch it on and then it will tell you to, okay, breathe in, and then it will vibrate, breathe out, and then you breathe out, and then it will say, okay, breathe in again, take a long breath. So it will guide you through that, and then you can calm down. I don't know how much will it work for you, because you'll get irritated with the band itself if you're hyperventilating. So it is a good option. Not for me, but for someone else it may be useful. Now before, the other bands that I had shows you the time, but they do not have an option to change the clock phase. You cannot have different kind of clock phase. With the Charge 2, there are a lot of different clock phase. You can have just a time shown on the band, or you can show the time and the heart rate together with it, or you can show the time, the heart rate and the flows climbed. So you have different options which are there in the Fitbit app. Right now I don't have an option to download more watch face. Maybe later on that would be added on, but I don't know about that. But right now it has enough. So I have shown that in one of my videos, how to change the clock phase and what all options you have. So you can change the clock phase. It automatically detects what activity you are doing and tracks that. Now it does not track everything accurately, but even if it does not track everything accurately, like if I'm going on the bike, it will track it as cycling. So I can change it to motorcycle. If I'm running maybe and maybe it calculated you as running and you want it to be as cycling. It has an option to change it over there. You can change the name, you can change what activity you are doing, and that can be done. The only problem with that is it will change the name but it will not change the calories. So if it shows 10 calories burnt, even if you put it to motorcycle or even if you put it to cycling or walking, whatever changes you make, the calorie count will not change. So in other words, all that you're doing is changing the name, the data remains the same. So it is somewhere in between, not perfect, but at least that option is there. This I really liked about Fitbit. It's not only an option with the charge, it's an option with the flex and the other bands too, the Fitbit range too, that you get an email from the Fitbit app. Basically it's from the Fitbit server. You get an email from them saying that okay, your battery is low, please charge. So this happens. Before, I didn't really make much of sense. It didn't really make much of sense to me. Why is the server emailing me to charge it? It's my band, I will know. Then I realized that there are a lot of times when I do not use the band. I just take it out and keep it. Maybe it's a day where I'm not exercising. Maybe I'm out on vacation. Maybe I'm out for 3-4 days and I don't have the band with me and the band is at home. So I will not know that if the band is charged or not charged. So the email comes in and tells you that your band is low on battery, so charge it. So that's a good option. I don't have that option in any of my other bands, so I really liked it. I don't know whether it is actually linked to the band or it is a automated email, like if the full charge was done on this day, in 4 days remind the user. I haven't done much of research on this part as yet, but this is also something that I will be looking into. If I have like an Android phone, iOS, any iPhones, if I have Windows PC, Windows phone, I have a Mac, so I have 5 different devices. All I have to do is connect my band with one of the device, and the data is shared with all the rest of them. So what I have to do is I have to sync my band with, like if I sync my band with the Android phone and I'll go into Windows PC, I can even go to the website, go to the Fitbit website, log in, and then I will see all the data that this band has given to this phone and this phone has synchronized it with this Fitbit server, and I get it from there. So it is universal. The good thing about that is, like if you want to lose weight or maybe you want to get ripped, you want to whatever goals you have, but you know that you are not strong enough. Maybe the first week you will do it, but after that you will say okay, I'll do it later or whatever. You want someone to monitor what you're doing or someone to keep an eye on you or check on you. Then you can share your information with, like, your spouse. I don't think you will share your username and password with your friends, but like your spouse maybe, they can monitor what you are doing from wherever they are. So like if your spouse is in a different country altogether and you are here, you're wearing the band and you're using that, now you may lie to them or lie to the entire world that yes, I am exercising, I am doing this, I am doing that, but your spouse will know what you are actually doing. They can log into the Fitbit account and they can get all the information that this band has given this phone and this phone has synchronized it with the server. Yes, I know it's a privacy issue, but if that's an issue, do not give your username password to anyone else, because if someone has your username password, they will be able to see your data. It has an option to sync with the computer straight away. So I have synced it with my laptop, I have synced it with my Mac. The Fitbit Flex, the previous version that I had, came with a dongle. So you had to put the dongle into the computer, and with the Fitbit app, the Fitbit used to connect with the dongle and give the data to the computer. Now with the charge, you don't need a dongle. So the normal computer's Bluetooth detects it and works with it straight away. So even if you don't have a phone, you can use a computer to use your Fitbit. So that's a good option. I don't have those options in most of my bands, where I can, even if I don't have a computer, even if I don't have a phone, I can use a computer to do all my activity monitoring and stuff. So ideally, I don't see a scenario where you won't have a phone and have a computer, but in case that's a scenario for you, you can use that option too. Now for the cons. No built-in GPS. Now, what does that mean? What's a GPS? First of all, you need to understand what a GPS is. So, a GPS is not related to your regular cell phone towers. So, it basically gets the signal from a satellite, and that's why it does not work under a roof. So if you're standing inside a house or in a basement and all, GPS does not work there. You need to have a clear visibility of the sky. That's when it works perfectly. Sometimes in between, a little bit inside the house, it will still work. But what GPS does is, it will give you the exact position where you are. Instead of 500 meters, it can point you down to 5 meters. So the circle, like if you use in Google Map, if you don't have your GPS on, it will still work, but it will the range will be longer. You will see that the place that you are, the point that it puts, it will be bigger than what it shows when your GPS is on. When your GPS is on, it will pinpoint it and it will take you exactly to where you are standing. So if a GPS is built into a device, it's capable of giving more accurate data. So basically, the charge takes the GPS data from the phone. So my problem with that is, I don't take my phone and go for a jog. Basically what I do is, I keep the phone at home and I go for a jog. I have a maybe a Bluetooth headphone which is connected to my smartwatch. Now I have Android Wear also, which is capable of playing MP3s. So I sync that with my headset and I can go for a jog. I'm not using my phone at all. But if I'm using a Fitbit Charge 2, I don't have an option. I cannot get GPS data. I have to have a phone with me. So if I have a bulky phone, big phone like this, putting that in a pocket and running is not at all comfortable. So that is one major con. I don't know how much will it affect a lot of people. Like if you're going to the gym and stuff, there I don't think this will matter that much. But if you're going for a jog outside, then it will matter. No camera or music control. So like most of the other bands in the market, they have an option of clicking a picture like this. The band can be a remote for clicking a picture, or playing the music, pausing the music, forward track, next track, volume up, volume down. Those things can be controlled by the band even without a button. So double tap and this will start. You can set it like my Sony band. It doesn't really have a button to control it. It has a button, but that doesn't control anything. You have to double tap it, triple tap it, and that's how it controls the music. You can set on the app what do you want the taps to be related to. You can relate it to music, you can relate it to camera. So whatever you want the function to be, you can put it on the app. So even cheap bands have that, but the Fitbit Charge 2 does not have that option. I know there is a notification option, but my problem is it happens only once. So my problem with that is the notification comes in. So as soon as the notification comes in, the band will vibrate. And when the band vibrates, I'll pick the band, I will see the message. Or I press the button and I'll see the message. And once the message scrolls through, it goes off. I cannot see it again. For example, I am jogging. Okay, I have a smaller phone, I'm jogging, and I feel a vibration, and I look at it, and then I see, okay, there's traffic and stuff, so I stop, and then I look back, the message is gone. So I cannot see that message. There's no option of pressing the button, see the message again. No. Once it's activated, once it's shown, that's it, gone. So that I did not like. Like the Pebble watches that I use, they have that option. I have option of going into notification and see it. The Android wears that I use, they have the option. I can see it from there again and again, as many times as I feel like. But this doesn't have that option. It comes and it goes. The problem with that is, if you have multiple messages, only the last one would come up. The rest of them are gone already. So that's another problem. It is not advisable to take this in the shower according to the box itself, according to the band. It's only sweat proof. So it's something like my other bands, I can wear them and I can go for a swim. Like the Mi bands, the even the Flex, I have taken it into the swimming pool and nothing has happened to it, even though it's not swim proof. The Flex 2 is, but the Flex 1, the previous one, is not swim proof, but I still have taken them. The reason why it's not waterproof or water resistant, fully water resistant, is because it is made up of 3 different components, 3 different material. The top part is glass, then they have metal, and then they have plastic, and then they have the sensor at the bottom. So there are so many places which are different materials fused together, and there's a button, so there's space between that. So it is difficult to make it waterproof, but it would have been a good option. If the band was waterproof, then I don't have to think twice. I can just wear the band and just forget it. But this makes me remember the band every time. I keep removing it and keeping it. So that's not a good option according to me. So the fifth and my major con with the Fitbit band is, you cannot sync it with your Fitbit app without an internet connection. I understand you need an internet connection for it to be synchronized with the server and go to the rest of your devices. That I understand. But why is it not allowed for me to synchronize my data to the app which I am connected to the phone that I am connected to via Bluetooth? So I should be able to transfer my data from the band to the phone so that I can see it real time. That is not an option which is there on the Fitbit app. Although I have seen one thing where I have put a widget for Fitbit on the home screen, and I've seen that I tried to sync the Fitbit app and it does not synchronize. But then I noticed that my widget has the same steps taken that the band has. So somehow the widget is taking the data, but the app is not. So ideally it should be the other way. The app should have the data and the widget may not have it, but it happens the other way. I have seen it, and in one of my videos you have actually seen, I did not notice it before, but later on I noticed that the widget actually shows the data and the app shows cannot sync. So that is there in one of my videos, you can see that too. Okay, so that's basically it for the pros and the cons. Now to get better data or more accurate data from the Fitbit Charge 2, make sure you take care of these 3 things. One is the wrist placement, second is the handedness, and third is do not take it into the shower or swimming pool or anywhere else, because this is not waterproof. I will emphasize on wrist placement and handedness. You're a right-handed person. You wore the band on the right hand, and you got up in the morning, you went to brush, and then you're brushing. Now the band does not count your legs moving, it's counting your hand movement. So the brushing, it'll count as steps. So you brushed, it counted as steps. You made your hair, combed your hair, it counted it as steps. So anything that you did with this hand, it counted it as step. But whereas at the same time when you're doing all that, this hand is lying idle. that's where your band was supposed to go. So if you're a right-handed person, what my advice would be is to wear the band on the left-hand side so that it does not detect all that false movement. Now, I have done this experiment. Some of my friends have Fitbit devices with them. I have told them to use this option. Make sure they put it on the other side, on the left-hand side, because all my friends are right-handed. So I told them to use it on the left-hand side. And there was a drastic change in data. So my friends who used to say I did 15,000 steps today come up to me and say I only did 8,000 this time. How did that happen? Now, they also did not realize how much they move their other hand. So, and how much that data is going to show up on the band, on the fitness app. So this doesn't apply only to Fitbit, it applies to all the fitness bands. I will be doing a smart band episode 2 where I will be discussing on how to get accurate data from the smart bands. But this is what you have to take care of. In Fitbit there's a second option, which is the handedness, which is more, which just means that how prone are you use, which hand are you prone to use more, even though you are a right-handed or a left-handed person. So there can be a person who is right-handed but they are more prone to use the left hand. So due to certain reason, I don't know what. But there may be such situation. I've seen that in the Fitbit app, not in the Fitbit bands, not in the other bands. So that's another option. So please make sure you take care of these things and you will get better data from it. So all in all, let me just summarize everything. All in all, good band. I really like the build quality. The display is really nice in the sun, even though it's an OLED screen which is not that bright, or even if it's bright in the dark, it's not that bright in the sunlight. You can still view pretty well. I do like the screens of the Pebbles more, because doesn't matter what kind of screen, what kind of daylight, midnight, whatever situation you are in, you can see it very clearly. But surprisingly, the OLED screen of this band is good, and the battery life is great. For a continuous heart tracking band, the battery life is great, because all the other bands that I've used have good battery life, but they do not have continuous heart tracking. So right now the band is tracking my heart rate, which all the other bands don't do that for me. There are some more expensive bands which do that, but I don't have the option, and I don't have a battery life with that. So that's basically it for the Fitbit Charge 2. I might make some more videos on them depending on my experience with it and depending on the comments that I get. If you want me to answer any questions, please leave a comment. I will answer them. If you want me to do some other tests, please let me know and I will do those tests too. My main test that I have left for me is the email option, that email that I get from Fitbit saying that my Fitbit battery is low. How does that happen? Is it physically going from my phone, or is it from the server, a random message that comes after every 5 days or 4 days according to the battery life that a band should have? So whatever it is, I will look into it. That's the only test that I am left with, or I will be doing. Anything else, please let me know. And if you like the video, please subscribe. And hit the like button, and I'll be back with more videos. Bye bye.